Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So, this is update number 2 of why I disappeared from YouTube about 3 to 4 years ago. Continuing on in depth about my artwork over the years, and this will also be in timeline order. Winter 2017. My grandmother came down from Oklahoma, and she brought these little wooden cutout ornaments that we were allowed to paint. And she brought all the supplies and even a couple of other crafts that she likes to do. She showed me and my brother how to paint them, and she also told us that a little goes a long way and that it's easier to do light colors and then the dark colors. Otherwise, you'll mess up the paint. 2018. I was given paints and I started practicing on random pieces of wood like this one. I had painted and practiced and experimented a lot, but that summer I ended up stopping for a bit due to travel and finding out that I liked filming. Afterwards, I started up school, so I did a lot of my painting and my artwork on the side when I was extremely stressed out over assignments, and also because I only had one elective due to the school saying that I couldn't read or write to their standards. So I didn't have an art class. Either way, I ended up selling a couple pieces. I sold one to a family member, and I had gifted another piece to another family friend. I also started getting into some digital art, and I still have about 9 pieces from when I first started out on that. At the same time, I started experimenting with makeup, which I believe is also an art form, just a different way. I did about 4 or 5 more paintings that I thought looked nice. This is one of them. It's like a lone wolf type one. It says, "I like to be alone, but I hate feeling lonely." If that's not an angsty teen, I don't know what is. I sold one of them, and I also gave one to my grandmother because she was finally moving home, or moving down to Florida with us. I then gave another one to a neighbor, and the last 2 I kept. I ended up repainting this lone wolf one, I think about a year ago, maybe 2. You can see I put a cover on it because I didn't want it getting ruined like the last one, or the last time I painted it. This same year, I found a shop called Ocean Child, which I painted them a small little beach sign that had their name on it, and I gifted it to them, and the girls loved it. And I also sold a few pieces from their shop. I believe there is a sand dollar, which is now in, I think, Missouri or something. They said something close to that. This same year, I also started up my channel and my Instagram for Siren Serenity. I can link both of those accounts down below if you'd like me to. One is Siren Serenity 18, and the other one is Siren Serenity Art. '19, yay! I painted a project for my ASL class, year 1, which I wish I got to keep, but unfortunately I didn't. It was so cool how it turned out, because it's the literal hand signs for ASL with like branches and like splatter paint kind of vibe to it. I also found out the same time my husband also likes to draw. We bonded over that very quickly. But unfortunately, he doesn't draw anymore. I had also done a painting for him. It was an Alice in Wonderland themed painting. It had a quote from the Cheshire Cat. And then I went on to paint an original as well as a second. Who knew? Who knew I could paint originals? I actually painted 4 different originals, but 2 of them were around the same time. One of them is this tearing heart in half with a galaxy themed background. I had asked all my followers for suggestions for the background, and for some reason one of them said Shrek. I have no clue, but of course I didn't go with it. But you can see that I used a lot of different colors, and I also used a paintbrush and just flicked it on there. These little dots actually are hand placed with the end of my paintbrush. So that was a really cool way that I could express stars. The second original I did was actually a tribute to my husband, and it was for a TikTok video that I had filmed. It's this right here. It has 3 different colors: red, blue, and purple, which blue is my favorite color, purple's his favorite color, and red is just a representation of love and sexuality, which is actually pretty cool to know. Because the song that I actually did it to was I put his name in yellow hearts, which yellow hearts mean friends, like you're friend zoned hard. But of course, as you can see here, I accidentally spelled his name wrong. This is supposed to be an A, not an S. But new relationship, had to get used to spelling it correctly. He didn't get mad about it, so he actually liked it a lot. The last 2 originals that I did were recreations of drawings that I had done in middle school. One of them is this wolf one. It was supposed to be better blended, but of course I was getting used to painting on canvas, and also this arm is so weirdly unproportional. So this one isn't shown very much. But of course it is still an original, so I keep it with the collection. The last but not least original that I did was a canvas painting, of course, because I had to use my canvases. Why not? So this was a recreation of a drawing that I had done with Sharpie. And unfortunately, with the original drawing, I didn't get to finish doing the background because the Sharpies that I had were dying. I don't know if it was because of how much I've used them or because it was just a dying Sharpie. But you can tell that this is my actual hand. I outlined my hand and I put my rings that I wore at the time, which I still wear one of them, just on the other hand now. This was also a tribute to one of my best friends who was featured on this channel, I think about 4 years ago, 5, maybe. Like, we had just hit high school too. So her first initial, my first initial, of course. And then I was very obsessed with music as well. So it's my blue headphones that I was obsessed with, a pencil, you know, for writing, and then my MP3 player that I had for so many years. It had like almost 1,000 songs on it. Other than that, this is supposed to just be representing the light coming from the screen and me engulfed in the music. The last painting I did for the year was a humongous painting for my mom that I did for Christmas for her. It was a painting of the lighthouse Cape Hatteras, because that's her favorite so far, which is actually only a 2-hour drive from where I live right now. It took me about a week to finish. I had to paint the background white because I had to flip it over, and then I had to draw the lighthouse on there, which was not easy. I think also the hardest part as well was the amount of paint I had to use just for the background alone, because I painted it all blue, and then I filled in the lighthouse, and then grass, and then all the tiny little details of the lighthouse itself, plus clouds and trees and the leaves in the trees. She absolutely loved it. It's still hanging up in her house to this day. I think she won't go anywhere. She won't move anywhere without it. It added to her lighthouse collection, which I'm pretty happy about though, because I'm so happy that she loves it that much. I think I also got her Dunkin' Donuts coffee cards, like gift cards, so she can go get herself some coffee. 2020! This year was really slow in the artistic process, and I was only able to do about 3 paintings. The first painting I did was for an ASL assignment showing the injustice of the past in the deaf community over the years to present day. Where ASL back then, you couldn't sign, you couldn't do very much if you were deaf. You had to learn how to lip read and talk like a normal human being. You weren't allowed to use your hands, or you would get slapped, and they would actually bind your hands behind your back. While in today's culture, ASL is widely accepted and you can learn it almost anywhere. You just have to make sure you learn it from a probable source. Either going to school for it or actually learning it from the deaf community itself. I think they also have like little clubs that you can do too, where you can just learn from people who are deaf. You can learn the different dialects, the different signs for the same thing, which is actually pretty neat because I went to a couple of those. Then COVID hit, and I ended up doing 2 beach-themed paintings on these like flat canvas. It's kind of like the wood ones. This is another one I did on wood. It actually still has the price tag on it. But anywho, the 2 beach themed ones that I did, they were painted and then finished while I was on a trip in the Everglades in Florida, on this little island that I love. One was like a full beach theme. It had the chairs, it had a beach ball, it had an umbrella, it had the waves, but it didn't turn out the way that I wanted to. So that one ended up getting trashed, which was kind of sad, but it just wasn't the right depth, as I'd call it. I think I was going off of a photo that I had seen, but I just didn't have the skill yet to get all the details. The next one was kind of like a beach theme in the middle with an abstract outside with different colors. And I had put in each color a quote, but I had accidentally messed it up. I had spelt one of the words wrong by not adding one letter, which would have made it make sense. So that one also ended up getting trashed as well. I don't think I have any photos of it. If I do, I'll try and find it so I can put it up on the screen. "2021! Okay. I didn't paint for about 6 months after the last one due to some events that I mentioned in my previous video. The next painting I did was for my mother-in-law. It was a anchor with my husband's last name, his ship number, his division number, and his graduation date from boot camp. I had to draw out the anchor first before I could put it on the canvas. Seeing as it was a little bit more difficult than the previous paintings that I had done. But after that, I made the background gradient from a like dark, deeper blue to a lighter blue as you go up. And then I used a marker cap with some white paint, just like dipped it in there. And I made bubbles. I made bubbles that went all around. And his name and all that was in gold. I could put it up on the screen because I don't have it. It's actually hanging up in her house as we call like this little shrine for my husband, which I've added to it before. So with the paintings, she's added to it with photos, and he's also actually added to it with different things that he's brought back from each place he's been. I also actually had drawn a few drawings and then did digital drawings of them. Plus I was actually finally in an art class. Thank the heavens to my my teacher. Otherwise I'd still probably be stuck and I probably wouldn't have graduated. So I thank her very much for that. But the first one I did was like a watercolor of my husband's face where you like put the pencil on the paper and you can't lift it, so you have to like draw over other lines to make a photo. And I used my husband's face. And then I did watercolors of like his purple hair, his glasses. For some reason I did the background as like yellow. I have no clue why. Another one I did was a duck. It was like an abstract duck. I drew a duck and then I did like, what is it? So you do the lines from corners to corners and then I just gradient them to create the image of the duck, but it doesn't look like a duck at first. A couple of examples from the watercolor was actually this page right here. It's probably going to be hard to see, but you can see the date. It was 2021, and it was all of my husband. And I also have a couple of things showing a repeated decorative design, like geometric shapes, sorry. And then we also had an assignment to do like eyes, nose, and mouth, which for some reason I got docked on the mouth. What? I have no clue why, but you know, it's okay. It's okay. But a couple of actual drawings that I had done were these right here. Those are just doodles. And then I had a drawing of I think that's a bass. It's not a cello and it's not a violin because it has the peg stand, but I think that's a bass. And then I had done this one, which uses shading and then, of course, the different elements of the wings, the shadows. This is a very crappy drawing of a girl, but of course, get necked. The only other one in here, I think that's the only other one. I think there's two. Yeah, there's two. I have two gothic drawings. This is one where she's kind of like, hey, peace. She kind of represents my attitude most of the time. And the shoes that are actually in this are ones that I cannot find anymore because the brand discontinued them. Another one is just, yeah, elemental, kind of cool. Definitely gothic. I did a digital of that one. I started doing a realistic drawing of myself, but that didn't work. I stopped halfway through. Also in 2021, I actually got asked to do an album cover for someone, which I did get paid for. And then they never used it. So, thanks, bud. Really helps. It was this. I'll try and find a digital of the finished product. And I'll probably post it on mine because, you know, I did it. It's my artwork. I'll have it watermarked. I do not care. I'll have it watermarked. Ideas for my gecko desk, which is in really light pencil, so I don't think I'll be able to show that. I think that's bookshelves. Okay. The last but not least one that I could actually find in this book was a drawing of a dress and a shoe that I had been working on for a long while. And I never finished it until I think a year after I started it. I don't know. It was around there. It was still 2021 when I finished it, but it had been a while. It's this right here, which you can see my mom's handwriting, calling it beautiful, because I was very proud of this. And it has purple and green because they are complementary colors, which figured out the hard way the other day because I forgot. But I think that's all for at least the drawing books. I think I do still have one other book that I can show a couple drawings out of. Because this is from my middle school days. Yes, I still have it. That's from high school going into college. And this one is like second year college. I got it from Hobby Lobby. There's a few drawings in here. A couple that I had done at the beginning of the second year. But we'll get to that here in a minute. So after that dress drawing that I did, I actually painted on a friend's calculator, which she got the idea from my calculator. So I had painted on two different calculators. One was my first one from high school. That one finally took a dive, and just, yeah, it didn't work anymore. So I had to get a new one, and I got this Texas Instrument. I think it's a 30. So I painted on this one. I did a nice sunset silhouette. And one of my friends from college, who I still talk to today, asked me to paint on hers, which I did a little ocean scene with like jellyfish and turtles and uh, little fishies and coral on the bottom with the light coming through. I also did a digital of that as well, which I believe is on my Siren Serenity page. And then I think I had one other person ask me to do that, but I didn't get to it. The last but not least painting that I did for the year was for the same family friend who bought a painting from me. It was a tribute to his mom, who passed away a little bit after. But it was a orchid, or a bunch of orchids, which I didn't realize till recently was the same amount of kids that his mom had. I think it was like 5 kids, and then they also have like little buds growing off of those, so it kind of shows their kids as well. Which I didn't even realize that until now, but I had put a lot of effort into them. They were blue orchids, and I think the background was like this very light blue, while the orchids were this deep blue with a whole lot of detail inside the orchids themselves. And then a lot of detail on the leaves as well, because it was one of my hardest ones, and I swear I actually really improved along with this as well. I really improved once I started painting on like random things again, just practicing. 2022! I did about 4 or 5 different pieces of art, all being digital. So I finally finished off a piece that was a photo that one of my friends took of me, and it had the most detail out of any digital drawing that I had done. And it had the most layers on it too. Then I did one of a famous YouTuber named Afmao, which I have her videos going on in the other room right now just for background noise. It was one of her posters with all the little meows, the cats, that she had commissioned for her. Another one that I had done was an anchor with wings that said, "You be the anchor that keeps my feet on the ground, and I'll be the wings that keep your heart in the clouds." The last one I did was of a drawing a friend did in their free time. They said I wasn't allowed to post it, though. I don't talk to them very much. I don't follow any of their family, and I made sure their signature was on the piece itself. So I can show it for like a brief second, but whatever. The last and final pieces were done. One was a mushroom that I had actually physically painted in school for an event, and it turned into a digital piece as well, which is also on my Siren Serenity page. Another honorable mention was this one. I had started doing like a Steven Universe themed painting, but I never got far enough. You could probably tell which ones are which. Amethyst, Peridot. I don't know. I just started going along with it. But this is an honorable mention. I never finished it though, as you can tell, because it doesn't have like the little gems in these ones, but it has these. So, just an honorable mention for the chat. 2023! This year I haven't really actually done much art because of all the changes going on in my life. I tried designing a t-shirt for a cruise, but it was shot down several times for how I designed it. Then I did a few collages for my wedding to my hubby after he came back from his long vacation. I also created a couple for my birthday as well, which is on my main channel, or my main profile, JC Wild. I don't know if these count as art to anyone else, but I feel like they count as art because it takes time to actually put them together, and it really came from my heart whenever I did them because there was a lot of meaning into them. The one for our wedding was our timeline together. Collages of like years. And the other one was just everyone's wishes of a happy birthday to me, which I absolutely loved getting those because of how far away I am from home. After that, I actually, my husband bought pots for, making a garden outside, or at least growing a couple herbs that we had gotten. And I made this one look like a mushroom, which is so cute. It even has a matching little, water catcher. So whenever it goes in here, it looks like it's in grass, which he absolutely adores that one. He's like, oh, it looks like a mushroom. I'm like, yes, it looks like a mushroom. The next one I did was this one with the little mushroom frog on it. It has our initials, heart, and then it says the Cabos, of course, with our signature colors. I also made this one a matching bottom, if I can separate them. Anywho, I made a matching bottom as well. Gotta fit the theme. I know it's a little big, but it's so cute. And having that little frog right there, if you hold it like this, it looks like he's peeking out from it. The last but not least pot that I did, because he bought 3, was this little turtle with mushrooms growing out of the ground. Of course, a heart in our signature colors. I had to. I also ended up painting the bottom to get rid of paint. Because a little goes a long way. And I did a matching bottom, as per usual. Though with this one, it'd be a little bit hard to see the turtle unless you were looking up or looking down at it. Then you could see both the mushrooms and the turtle. I did 3 mushrooms on one side and a singular mushroom on the other. And actually for that turtle, he requested that I paint a turtle for him. So this was based off of a photo that I could find online. And he loves them. He thinks they're cute. And I find them adorable as well. I love the sign for sea turtle is this. I love it. And this is tortoise. They're so cute. The signs that they have are so cute. And just recently I did a digital of me and my hubby on a special day, which I mentioned in my last video of what that was. I lined it and then I filled it in, and then the background, of course, is our favorite colors, the purple and the blue, our signature colors. But it came out beautifully, and I only did it as a practice to see where I was or if I still had the same type of skill level. An honorable mention that I did a few years ago, or a couple of years ago, not even a few, it hasn't even been that long yet. It's only been like 2 years. I really hope I don't cry, but I did this one for my grandfather, which it is on a bigger canvas than my other ones, which I realized day before yesterday. But this is a a tribute to my grandfather. He passed away 3 years ago, and this lily is actually something that I want to get tattooed on my shoulder right here. And I want to put his birth date and his death date. I also had my grandmother draw a heart that I'm going to get tattooed on this shoulder for her, because some things are going on with her at the moment, and of course it was just in time that I had her draw that heart, because she lost her ability to use her right hand. I'm going to hopefully get that done before she passes, and hopefully have her see it. Hopefully this will be done too, because I have been planning this out for 2 years now, maybe 3. No, 3 years now, because I wanted to get something to remind me of my grandfather, other than a painting that I just have in my room. But of course, his color and my color, my favorite color, his favorite color was blue. I don't know why I did the purple background, but I did. And the last flower that I put before he was buried was a lily. And my favorite lily is a stargazer lily, the pink ones. Hopefully I can be able to get that done and get both of them done. Another honorable mention, actually, to get off that sad topic, is actually this right here. It was gifted to me by a friend. This is my favorite quote. It's by Martin Luther King. It is, "Faith is taking the first step, even when you don't see the full staircase." It is one of my favorite quotes. It's what has gotten me through a lot of stuff so far. And she painted it for me as a gift, and I really appreciate it. She's actually been on this channel before. It's the one labeled "my first vlog ever," which is kind of funny because I think I actually had a couple vlogs before that one. Thank you so much. I love it. I will never get rid of it. But without further ado, I want to thank everyone for watching this, and I know I haven't posted anything to my art channel just yet, but drum roll please. I have an upcoming video for it. It's something different than art, but it is a art form that I think something that I think is an art form. It's cleaning up my house after moving in, and putting things away, going through stuff. But I'll have that channel linked below, so you guys can check it out if you want to, or if you'd like to. And subscribe if you want. I'm not forcing, I promise. I promise. But I really hope you do. I appreciate everyone being here and supporting me so far. Please like and subscribe if you can or would like to. Thank you guys again. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll see y'all in the next update. Bye! Oh, shoot. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, my God. No. No. No, I'm gonna have to redo the paint. Let's just wrap it up.